Welcome to the show. I wanted to discuss 5 phrases that make people discount what you're saying. Communications are very important with human interaction. So these common expressions can cause listeners to think twice. If you're looking to advance in your career, thinking about the way you communicate is a good place to start. After all, it's a skill that's always in demand and goes a long way toward shaping others' perception of you. You have some control of how people perceive you, but a handful of irritating and common words and phrases can undermine your hard work. Words are very powerful things, and some words and phrases can really have a negative kind of energy. Says, communications coach Alan Samuel Cohen, author of The Connection Challenge, How Executives Create Power and Possibility in the Age of Distraction. With all this tech and all this content that's always blasted at us, how do we sort of focus? At best, such phrases are distracting. In the worst case scenario, they can actually trigger a strong negative reaction in your counterpart, either to the conversation or to you. So, while it's important to police every word you say, right, nowadays you have to say allegedly or you might be sued for defamation, and people are going to hear what they're going to hear. That's just a fact of the matter. So there are better options to consider. The first one is but. Whenever you use the word but as a conjunction, the first part of your sentence immediately becomes qualified by the second part. Saying to somebody, I love you, but, or that's a great idea, but, calls the first phrase into question, right? And leadership coach Jennifer McKay agrees with me. You know, she's the founder of the McKay Coaching and Consulting group. In the second half of the sentence, we've already moved on to something contrary. Say it better. Simply stop after the statement. If you must add a conjunction and second phrase, use and. For example, you'd say something like, that's a great idea, and we can look at it more closely. Don't say but. So, another phrase is, this might be stupid/silly. When you use self-deprecating language before you put forth your ideas, you're immediately diluting the other person's confidence in you and giving them permission to dismiss what you're saying. Ellie Eckhoff, Senior Vice President at ClearRock, agrees with me. She's a leadership and development and executive coaching firm expert. Some people might start with, this might not be a good idea. Maybe we've already done this. This might not work. So starting the conversation with minimizing what you're going to offer is not a great idea from a PR, marketing, or work example. Say it better. I'll give you an example. Simply state your idea without qualifying it. You'll be more valued for your contributions. Another one people use often is respectfully. If you have to qualify your statement with respectfully or with all due respect, that what follows isn't likely to be respectful, right? And often won't be productive. Tony Harrison, CEO and founder of Edge Communications, agrees with me there. A public relations and communications firm. And even if what you're going to say is respectful, you've introduced the concept that it isn't. Right. With all due respect, but already means that you're not giving the person respect. Why would I think you're about to say something to disrespect me in a conversation? Right. So she agrees and says the same goes for the word honestly. Because if what you're going to say is honest, why would you say honestly? It's a case where, like, if you read a headline and there's a question mark at the end, the answer is no. Don't bother reading the article. Is this so-and-so, question mark? It isn't. So if you want to say it better, if you're reaching out of anger, like, take a moment to collect your thoughts, to respond appropriately. You can argue your point without a disingenuous lead-in. Otherwise, drop the reference to respect entirely and just say what you have to say. Another one is, I'm so busy. When you respond to how are you with I'm so busy, you make people reluctant to continue the conversation because they may think they're taking up time you don't have, right? Others may feel that you are positioning yourself as more important than they are. Busy has become a way of life for many people, especially in this internet age, with so much content and media and social media and streaming channels and things of that nature and mobile phones and smartphones and etc. And some of some of our clients have expressed frustration when colleagues go on about the demands on their time. So how do you say it better? If you're strapped for time in the moment, say for example, I'd love to chat, but I have a meeting in 5 minutes. Could we catch up at 2 p.m.? As opposed to saying, I'm so busy, right? It comes off a different way, even though you're saying the same thing. If you're overwhelmed, you may wish to confide in a trusted friend or colleague to help find solutions, but it's rarely a good idea to just respond with a general I'm busy, as there's little anyone can do about that except you. You're the one making the time. Another one is try. When people work together to complete projects or tasks, it's essential to know who is working on what. When somebody says they will try to complete something, it leaves the requester with doubts about the person's commitment level to the task and whether the need will ultimately be met. So in other instances, you can, if you ask somebody to try, you may seem as if you're calling their capabilities into question. Think about that, right? For example, try to understand sounds like the speaker doesn't believe the receiver is capable of understanding. How do you say it better? If you're not convinced you can complete a task, give specifics about the challenges or concerns. That can help you get the clarity, assistance, or resources that you may need. When you're addressing somebody else and asking them to try, ask a question instead. For example, do you have questions? Is better than try to understand. Thanks for stopping by. Please like and subscribe. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you.